What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukashu. We are back with another Musume video. This video, as you guys can see, we are here training Tokai Teio, because I did mention that I did want to try her out to see if I can bring her to the CM. And here we are. Well, I don't know if I'll bring her back for a video, because for the most part, there's just different Umas I'm training. Well, off camera, mainly I've been trying Kita and Orferv, kind of just switching off between Chaser and Escape. Haven't really tried anyone else besides those two, just kind of just switching whenever I felt like doing a different position. But here we are, Tokai Teio. As for the setup, we're gonna go with 2 speed because she does have 20% in growth rate speed, and Eugen reminded me that I had done 3 speed with Duramente, and I had remembered that I did cap out at some point during the training. Not too early, but also early enough to where I felt like I would have gotten it capped out if through just the regular stats we got at the end. So we're gonna go with two speed just to see if we'll see the same thing. Oh no, well no, we're not gonna see the same thing, but to see if we'll be able to reach close to cap or cap for speed. Obviously, if training goes well. For the, and I'm borrowing El Condorpasa because I need check. The skill check. I would use it. I would get it from my Symboli Rudolf, but she still has no copies, so it is what it is. I'm just gonna use my Measure Ramino Wise card, Super Creek Stamina card. Thought about between Guts and Guts and Power. Decided to go with Power because I don't really have a Guts card besides Haru, I guess. So we'll just see what happens. We'll just see what happens with my Guts stat at the end of the training. But other than that, I should probably, yeah. I was training earlier, and then prior to recording this video, I was actually recording the story video for Wuthering Waves. But before we do jump into the training and into the comments, if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There is a channel called Circle Quest. I was just making sure that the video was recording. There's a channel called Circle Quest for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle, and then after that, head over to the comment section or to the Circle Request channel in the Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, yeah, before this I was recording the story for Wuthering Waves, but I won't be posting that until tomorrow. Because today I'll be posting the summoning video along with the Shield defense for Zenless, because I still haven't posted it, and it's been almost a week since it's been updated. So I think I was thinking whether or not I should do just all the 4 levels from 4 to 7, or just 7, but I think I'll just do all 4 again. I think so. We'll just see what happens later. But going over the comments, the first batch of comments is going to be from Nova. So I did a brain dead run with the Verxina just now, and bam, UB with S in medium. I'm going to say that my CM prep is almost complete. I just need to see if I can get some backups to UB like Lark, Dia, or Crown. Well, I mean, I'd say your CM prep is pretty much done if you already have your 3. Backups are just nice to have just in case. Just in case. But your 3, I believe, is, well, Verxina, because you just mentioned her. Vivlos and Donna, I'm assuming. Donna. Yeah, it should be Donna. But moving on, Bourbon, eh? Maybe I'll train her global. She was a pretty decent Uma back in the Jurassic period. Yes, she was. But then once Chocoban came out, instantly replaced her own character, literally. If I had Chocoban, I would. I don't. So. It's kind of weird to think that once I get global on Steam, I'm going to be free to play and parent farming, not going to be going ham like I did in the early days. And cards, well, it's all SR cards from here on out. Oof. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a slow process getting support cards again, especially in the beginning, because I'm kind of thinking if I try to get some kind of like decent support card off the beginning. I don't know yet. I'll think about it when it's like the next day. When it's like the next day, maybe. Before, or the day before the release. Yeah, we'll go with that. But yeah, cards will be mainly SR. Cards will definitely be mainly SR. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna use whatever I have in the beginning. Especially knowing that I won't be committing the same amount of time to it as compared to JP, so yeah, we'll just see what happens. GFL 2 release schedule being effed up is not something new with Maiko. Then again, it's always interesting to see what the future holds if you don't know anything. I alone don't really care about knowing what future characters or banners are coming out. If I figure it out, then I just figure it out. It doesn't really ruin anything for me per se. Because at the end of the day, if I end up liking the character, I'm just gonna pull for it. Or at least try pull for it. Like for Wuwa and Zenless, somehow we know characters that's gonna be released like 3-4 patches ahead of us, so it somehow appears in front of me like, oh, that's an interesting character. Doesn't really necessarily bother me too much, so it is what it is. Global players have been complaining about this and other gachas, but I'm like, bruh, don't be spoiled. I mean, when they change up the roadmap from, let's say, JP to global from other games, I don't care either. I don't care either. It for me, it just gives me a better reason to not care about looking at the other, or I guess the JP side, because I'm just gonna be focusing on the global side anyway. Just in theory. Plus, I don't think I've ever done that with any game. Like, usually I just go with whatever news hits me, and then I'm just like, oh, so that's what's gonna happen. Oh, that's who's releasing. And it will just be a, am I gonna pull or am I not gonna pull type of deal. Well, moving on, bruh. My Kaleda is just rusting away. I haven't even used her once. I haven't, well, because I didn't even build her, so yeah. Eugene can have her. I still have the pity banner choice from the normal summon where you can choose one of the standard S ranks. I don't know who to choose now since I'm only missing Nekomata, but people have said she's kinda useless. So yeah, I'll just keep it there then. Well, I would say she's only useless if you pulled, well, they haven't really given us any physical weakness issues, I'd say. I feel like they will now because of the next patch with the new physical anomaly character that's basically power creeping or taking over Jane's job unless you just put both of them together, I guess. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the physical element hasn't really gotten any attention. After Jane, that was it, right? Yeah, I think after Jane, that was it. So unless you don't have Jane and you didn't build Piper or Corrin, then I don't see, or I think Billy also, then I don't see, or I don't see why not. But at the same time, I didn't even use Nekomata. Well, yeah, like I never really used Nekomata. She's just there for mine at least. So I guess yeah, you can say she is useless. At the end of the day, it just does sound like she's useless. But I think I'm just gonna say that because I have characters for people who do use her. It's probably useful. It's probably most likely useful. So I'm not gonna say she's completely useless. Character names are harder since it involves English Chinese, which I still don't know how to enunciate without seeing the actual characters. Acronyms at work is way easier. Acronyms were made to make it easier, so yeah. I would hope so. Azure Promilia got more news going on at the moment, and I do look forward to that one. I do too. Enfield and TE, which I Neverness to Everness, I believe. And Anata, I believe it's Ananta, but either or. And Silver Palace all seem worthy to go on my list of gotchas, but 25 gotchas might be pushing it for me. So I actually only seen Silver Palace like a month ago, I think, or whenever they first released their trailer or whatever. Is when I first saw it or heard about it. And man, I was instantly like, I'm gonna play that. Same with pretty much like all the other games you mentioned. So yeah, that's another what, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then recently I added 2. Yeah. I think I haven't fully counted because HBR is still hanging by a thread. But I know I'm close to 20, if not at 20 at this point because of the +2. But I want to say about this like 18, like you know what, maybe. But will there be games I can drop? Well, HBR will definitely be the one I can drop if I were to pick one right now off the rip, because I did say it's just holding on by a thread at this point. So if I had to choose one, it'd be that one. As for the other games, the thing is, I don't think I need to. And the reason being is because they're more already like established already too, where I don't necessarily have to worry about progression. It's just time. Whenever an event or anything updates, I just have to do it whenever I can around the event period or time period. So yeah, as long as games are up to date and maintained, where I don't have to worry about clearing content in the future, then sure. Then sure, I think I'll be okay. But the problem I see is there are more open world games. So those I know take, I guess depending on how things go with like builds and all that, but those can take longer to get a little bit more established depending on the person themselves. So I think I'll be okay, but I just hope that they're spread out release wise and not close to each other. I honestly wouldn't mind like a month gap or a 2-month gap like Wu and Zenless is. But other than that, I just hope it's not like 2 in the same month. And honestly, I feel like that's what got me with HBR and Girls Frontline. Surprisingly, I'm using this as an example, but they were like weeks apart. And even though HBR came out first, I still full on committed more to Girls Frontline more. So I don't know. Swiping is a good thing, Shushu. Embrace it. I'm good. I think it's established that I'm one of the worst Uma players in this community. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Yeah, I suck. I wouldn't say so. I mean, if you just think about like what you did this past month, with like you catching up to the scenario, putting in the time and all that, and learning scenario, I think you did a pretty good job, and you even reached UB. So I don't think you did a bad job at all. I wouldn't say you suck as well. So if I want to go pink, I have to pick a pink one here then. I'm not exactly thrilled with the options, but what can I do? I'm just gonna have to pick between the two. I might go for between these two at the very least. If I have to pick pink, if I'm gonna stick to pink, so it might just be. I don't like any of these. I'll just go with this. Whatever. That was all because I wanted to go to pink. But continuing on. Then again, I've been self-deprecating since Noki's arrival. Yujin made me feel bad with his factors. Only my credit card can comfort me. I don't know how Yujin made you feel bad with his factors when we've known he's worked on his factors way before the past couple months. I guess way before since you started spending on Uma. So I don't know what really is the trigger there. But I'd say you did a good job for the last month of the scenario, or yeah, the last 2 months of the scenario. Since basically you started putting time in to learn the scenario and train for the CM and all that. Pretty much. Or in the League of Heroes, because you did do the League of Heroes, right? Did he? Did he not? I don't remember. I don't remember. All I remember is he just started training like a month ago. And that's all. But moving on, at this point, I think Noki should just let everything out. Or everything he's thinking. This is especially true once the new scenario comes. Where are we? We're here, I think. We'll just go that. I expect to see Noki spiraling and crashing out in the comments. Not saying that's a bad thing, though. It's just Noki expressing himself without hesitation. Then Tanoki responded saying, "Hold up. That's a misconception there. I'm not like here watching each episode with massive fury building as Shushu plays from start of scenario. The scenario started, I gave a few thoughts on how to play the scenario. That conversation naturally ended over a few days." It did. It did. At some point, Shushu mentions in video about his training results being lower than expected, and then I just comment about skills, parents, and stamp choices, which was probably like a month ago. Probably, because we didn't really talk too much at one point. Do I want to do this? It is the next turn, so I should probably rest. So I'll just see how this goes. Nova responded back saying, "Shushu said you were awfully quiet during the month that I was on hiatus. You could have said these things back then relatively easy, unless, Noki, you didn't have the confidence to do so since you were still a noob yourself back then. Am I wrong?" That was like, what month is it? June. That was what, 4 months ago? When you left? 3 months ago? I think. One of those. What I meant by awfully quiet was basically like what Tanoki said. We had a conversation and naturally ended over a few days. Then it got quiet about that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the things that he did say recently could have been said. I guess I'm gonna just go green this time, guys. Or actually, if I pick blue, I think I'll be able to stay at pink. I think. Yeah, okay. Never mind. I saw it. I saw an opening to stay at pink. We're good. But at the same time, that kind of sucked. That kind of sucked. But yeah, after the initial, which was early scenario, other than that, was just normal comments. So that was the quiet period, what I meant, because we didn't necessarily talk too much about the scenario, right? From what I recall. The recent memory, not as much. At least, yeah, not as much. Well, he was still commenting. It's not like he wasn't. It's just it was more toward just normal comments. And by that time he was already better than where he was like a couple months prior to that. So I don't know where you're trying to get at here. Tanoki says, No, I had UB during first CM of this scenario. That's, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't think he was struggling. I don't think he was struggling, or what did you say? Still a noob at that time. Give me a quick second, guys. I'm getting a phone call. Sorry about that, guys. Phone call that I could not say no to. So, priorities, but it's all right. Nothing a quick pause in the recording can do. At least it's continuing, right? That's continuing. No, but where was I? Yeah, Tanoki was already pretty good by this scenario. Wait, like probably even way before this scenario. So I don't know what you on about, Nova. Why is it always about being good like some sort of power dynamic? I was talking about builds in UAF when I had lower rank Uma than you or Shushu. I don't even know where this is going at. I don't know where this is going at because I already knew that Tanoki was already doing fairly better or well by the time it was this scenario. Because it's the more recent, so I remember more better than. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, pretty sure he's been good since then. Matter of fact, he has been doing better in like group CMs and all that. So yeah, I don't know what you're on about, Nova. I don't know what you're on about. Poking the bear, pushing buttons, or something like that. Now I know I say I don't remember things a lot, but that's more like more recent things if it doesn't stand out. And depending on how long ago, but yeah. Moving on with the replies, because Nova says it's like that first intro song in Pokemon. You just want to be the very best that no one ever was. Gotta stamp them all. I don't know what you're on about, Nova. And then Sanoki says, nah, man, people be doing that. Us here, we in Viridian Forest training level 10 Caterpies. Damn. Level 10 Caterpies. And then Nova says, I'm using a Pikachu to clear the entire game. I'm too casual to train anything else. But moving on, I gotta agree. Imagine if anyone plays any one of my other gotchas and claim to be better. I'd say go for it. But are you really gonna beat me with all 18 gotchas? We can take this outside for those who have the audacity to claim that. I'm just saying, I'm here, me. Although I can admittedly say that based on previous comments, I can admittedly say that compared to others, yeah, I probably do suck. I probably do suck. But I'm still kind of keeping up. So, along with 15 plus games or 18, I don't really know where I'm at exactly, but I know it's 15 plus. So, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. Then Sanogi says, to be fair, ooh, what am I going to do here? I think it was the bottom one I normally pick. Yeah. Sanogi says, to be fair, we were just chatting about the super casual and Shushu roped me into the conversation, firing first by invoking casual gate. Well, I mean, I didn't mean to rope you into it. It was more like It was more like the initial memory when the word casual comes up is what happened a year ago. So so you can only thank yourself for making that a memorable moment involving a specific word, which so happens to be the word that we were going over. So I don't know. Firing back with, whoa, mate, you're lagging behind. Even casuals now is distinctly different from I'm better than you. That is still completely different from each other. Then Nova says, I mean, I can relate more with Shushu's situation than you can, so I can safely say the meaning of casual does differ from you and us. I ain't mincing words here, and I totally agree. And I totally agree because one person could just be playing a single game, but they could just be, when I say playing, I meant in quotations playing. They could just be logging in and trying to just collect characters without really playing the game too much or at all. And to me, that's barely playing, and that's like the most I'll say is like super duper very casual. Like you're like on the edge of not even playing the game. And that's why when I say casual is more like my meaning when I would describe it. So, but that's all in all because I have 17, 16, 15 other games out there, and for the most part I treat them all equally the same, where I try to put and maintain them equally, maybe one more than the other certain times, try to put in some time in certain games more than others depending on like the events or all that. Uma will always have its specific time or times for me to just train and all that, only because obviously I want to keep training to make sure that I get the best Uma I can bring to the events. So yeah, just imagine that. Just imagine just me doing my typical Uma stuff, add on 15 plus other games. And I still, in all those games, base caught up, maintain my account, and just keeping up with the game. Keeping up with end game content and all that. So yep. I ain't your I ain't just your casual gamer. Whether it's gacha games or other games and all that. I'll juggle them around as much as possible. While still trying to put in equal amounts of time for all of them as much as possible. But that's why I see casual a different meaning, because simply just how I play my games. And then thankfully thankfully I have Nova here to relate with me, thankfully, so I don't sound like the crazy one here. But at the end of the day, you guys might think we're both just the crazy ones. I'm okay with that because I am enjoying all these games. Guess I'll just pick this one. It is what it is. And then the last two comments from Nova. The second to last one says, "You like the drama in Discord, Shushu?" That's what I called getting mad first thing in the morning. Well, by the time I got there after, you know, ending the video and all that, it was all good. So yeah, I would say that is definitely what we would call getting mad first thing in the morning. Based off what I read, I'm like, I couldn't help but just like think, damn, what the heck happened? But I'm just glad that it all got cleared up. That's all that matters. That it all gets cleared up at the end of the day. Cause I ain't see you that livid at all. At all. And then lastly from Nova. Wait, let me refresh just in case. Yes, lastly by Nova. From Nova. Well, 80 pulls for Kathy, I guess. You know. Part to Thea. Even though I guess you could get Kathy out of it, but not sure if that's considered lucky or not, but I'm gonna pull the weapon later when I'm feeling less depressed. The gotcha luck can make you that way sometimes. I am not gonna speak on mine because video comes out later. But as I'd say, if you didn't lose the 50-50, then I will consider it lucky as long as you didn't lose a 50-50. At the end of the day, that's what you were fighting this whole time. Well, and trying to get the pulls early. I would say you're lucky on winning the 50-50, but unfortunate for going that far into pity or guaranteed pity. How many more turns do I have? I'm used to seeing, okay. I'm used to seeing Kita's like specific days because she does the Takarazu Kankinen. But after that, that is pretty much it for all the comments from Nova. So thank you for the comments, Nova. All of them. Appreciate it as always. And Tanoki, just Tanoki? Just Tanoki for replying to Nova's comments. Next comment is going to be from Eugen. First one says, oh no, just lunch. And Nova first comment, well, I'll just eat. And this time, y'all were probably like a couple minutes, like maybe 30 minutes or more apart. Based on the time from when you said this comment and his first comments. Next one from Eugen says, where is it? It was paused by the time I saw the deck, so I blame Nova because he is around when I start watching the vid, so maybe I got interrupted by his flexing. Here we go again with blaming Nova. Once again. Blaming Nova once again. When will it ever end? We will never know. Nova says, feel the meta cards. That is what you have. What is up with them giving me this? I mean, only if I had to, I'd pick this one if I had to, but I'm gonna just pick the green skill. But next comment from Eugen says, train along with Mihono with the same deck setup and the result is rubbish. It's a UC3 on... Wait, I almost just combined it. On serious note, choose speed Falcon is nice, but if you look at the rare skill, better to rent almonds instead of Falco. Since Mihono have the early acceleration skill. Other than that, if I'm not using Creek, I'll go borrow stamina. Dancing Flame, since Mihono have recovery rare skill that can evolve. She does. She does. So with my arsenal, I may go for 3 speed. Almondura still in love. Stamina, Dance Flame, in Daiwa. For your arsenal, maybe 3 speed. Kitadura still in love. Stamina, Dance Flame, Int, Ramino, or borrow Almond and use Creek for stamina. Well, if it's me for Mihono, I could use Kita. It's fine. But if I'm training Kita, I can't use Kita. I'm gonna have to use Almond Eye. But thank you for letting me know. And then lastly, okay, and Zenless. Oh, we got a Zenless. I'll get W Engine for Rena since I'm using her in some setups and wait for later for the agent pickup just in case. Yeah, as long I don't even know the expiration. I already redeemed mine, so I don't even know when the when it ends. So just make sure you get it whenever it ends, before it ends. And other than that, thank you, Eugen, for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. Next comment is gonna be from Rick, from what I saw, and that is gonna be it. I feel a sneeze. Woo! That was... I feel another one coming. Please no more. Alright, anyways. Please no more. Next comment is gonna be from Rick, and that's gonna be it. So... I noticed my UC1 agree had no S on medium, and my UC2 one had one. Eugen and Noki thought my UC1 was better, but since it has no S, I think I'll continue to do runs with her until I feel I got a decent one. I don't know why I was looking at this. I guess Tokai Teio training will have to wait. I thought of using Bubblegum Fellow, but it's a better distances between 1600 and 2000. For full effect, to get her full effect, then yeah, I would say mild distance to 2000. But she is still fairly decently pretty good, I would say, or can be usable for this one, even if it's 2400 meters. Because her evolution skills is what makes her better than what it seems like because of her unique skill. But it's up to you. All good. All good. And with that, that is gonna be all for the comments. Let me refresh one more time just to be sure. And there aren't any, so thank you, Eugen, Nova, and Rick. Eugen, Nova, and Rick for all the comments, and Tanoki for popping in the comments section, replying to, I guess, just Nova's comments. So, yeah. Appreciate you guys for the continuing support. And let's just jump on the training and finish it up. Where are we? We're Champions Fan Cup? Arima Keenan? Where are we? I think this is Arima. It's Arima. Okay, this time around, Guts was on the lower end, but I feel like my stamps were also on the bad end. Whether... well, I say bad end, but at the same time, I felt like I could have had better options for the beginning, or the first two pink ones at least. Other than that, I may or may not have had a bad stamp selection throughout the middle on the way here, but I realized my stats weren't really, as you guys can see, weren't really where it's at, especially speed being not even at 1800. So yeah, this run didn't make it, so it's all good. All good. I'll probably try again off camera just to see if I can get a better one off camera. I most likely will be able to get another one, better one off camera. So we'll go with that. So I'm not even gonna bother trying to win this one, only because I know the result's not gonna be what I want it to be. So let's just go through the first try and just leave it there. I do want to try to get Teio in, but I don't know. I think I'll try getting training Teio off camera once I get like at least one or two, or at least one maybe of my Umas, maybe two of my Umas for DC. I'm ready. Well, let me just go pick out these skills and we'll just go see how bad training was. I say bad because I am well aware of these stats. They're definitely not high enough. So yeah, they're definitely not high enough. So let's just speed through these skills and call it. Also, just so I can also get the video edited, uploaded in time, because I did play the story for Wuthering Waves, and the reasoning is because I wanted to get the materials unlocked for I want to get the materials unlocked for whenever I get any of the new echoes, new flowers, and all that. UE7, it is what it is. I know the run could have done better, so I'm just gonna leave it as that. But 1627 speed, 1249 stamina, 1288 power, 877 guts. I need to figure out the guts thing. Maybe a guts card, I'm not sure. But 1228 wise and an S aptitude on medium distance. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. If you guys didn't make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are up to. There is a new banner coming up tonight. Let me know if you guys will be pulling, because I feel like you guys will probably mention it in the comment section for this video. So let me know if you guys will be pulling or will be skipping. The new scenario will be releasing pretty soon, like 2 weeks, along with the CM, probably after the CM starts. So I feel like most of us will be on a standstill and not pull, unless you guys were waiting for Chronogenesis like Tanoki was. But other than that, I feel like by the time I record the video, the next video, which is the banner overview video, Tanoki will already pull. So before I do end off this video, I'm gonna wish luck to Tanoki, because I am confident that he is gonna be pulling for Chronogenesis, but I feel like he'll be just fine because of the amount of Uma crystals he has, or carat jewels he has. But yeah, that would also round up. This is today's Thursday. Yes, that'll be the end of the videos for the week. The banner overview. So yeah, besides all that, if you guys want to ask me anything or talk about anything else, just leave it down in the comment section down below. As long as it's appropriate, I'll go over it. And if you guys didn't join the Discord server, link is down in the description as well. There's a channel called Circle Request for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I am in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request to join, it'll let me know that you want to join a circle. And then after that, head over to the comment section or to the circle request channel. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.